Now that's significant. The Market Research Podcast.
Hello all, thanks for listening in to this episode of Now That's Significant, a market research podcast. I'm your host, Michael Howard, and today I'm joined by Michaela Gascon, the Executive Board Member at MREF, also known as Marketing Research Education Foundation. Michaela is also the President and CEO of KJT Group, a wire mentor, and 20 Deep Winery based in Mendon, New York. Thanks for joining us on the show today, Michaela.
You're most welcome, Michael.
It's a really nice, broad skill set and experience base to bring into this discussion.
Yeah, I want to see if we can hit on all of those topics today.
We'll see how we go. So what is the most significant thing that you wanted to share with us today, Michaela?
Well, I'd love to talk more about the MREF and some of the amazing stuff that this organization has been working on. Would love to just kind of showcase a little bit more. I joined the executive board a couple of years ago now, and I'm just consistently astonished by all of the work that's being done, the fundraising, the community building, and how they're just giving back to children in so many different ways around the world.
Okay, looking forward to digging into that. So how about some background first? What is the MREF for the uninitiated? What's its mission?
So the MREF is really a high-profile, industry-wide initiative that involves researchers from every level of the marketing research industry across the globe. And the foundation uses financial and human resources to provide tools necessary to give children access to a quality education. So MREF funds funds a wide range of different projects that are changing the trajectory of children's lives. And these programs provide some of the most, marginalized children in the world with access to high quality education, including arts, including after school care, essential supplies, and so much more. So we're really just grateful to be able to bring together researchers and to help make such a positive impact on behalf of the market research industry.
For sure. And it's been going for some time, I believe, as well.
Yeah, so it really began all the way back in 2015. And the mission was to unify, inspire, and activate the market research community to focus its collective efforts to educate children and youth worldwide with a brief ceremony in Brooklyn, New York. It started with 5 members of the MREF executive board, where they each just gave $5,000 of a grant to get this started. And fast forward to 2023, we donated nearly $165,000 to provide backpacks for low-income children in the United States. And we purchased books and educational supplies for children, not only in the US, but also in Ukraine, Costa Rica, and Haiti. And to date, it's just awesome to see the impact of MREF. We've actually donated more than $875,000 again, throughout all of these countries I just mentioned, as well as Europe and Africa.
It's so 2015 is nearly 10 years ago. So assuming some of the kids that you would have helped were, say 5 at the time, and now 15, potentially starting to finish school as well. So it would be really cool to see some of the impact and know the difference it's made from kids as they grow into adulthood.
Yeah, absolutely. And I know for some of the charities that we've given back to routinely, that some of the sweet goodness that we give back are some of these success stories and are some of the things where we can really see, the kids developing over time. So that's really great when you get to see some of those outcomes, but even when it's not, for some of those, like the Kids in Need Foundation, where we provided all those essential school supplies last year, we know we made such an impact, with the scale of what the MREF was able to do there.
Absolutely. My wife and I started a charity when we had our first kid as well, and that was helping newborns that didn't have any clothes. So we would collect gear from people that didn't have them and then pass them on to those that didn't have anything. And yeah, I can appreciate you often won't hear anything about the success stories because it's obviously sometimes it can be quite sensitive, or it's just removed from your daily operations, but that it has made a big impact in the lives of those. And one day down the line, there might be the next president of the United States or something like that from the work that you've done, and then the impact wider than that.
Yeah.
It does sound like a very worthy cause, as we've talked about. How did you get involved with them?
Yeah, it's one of those things that, I heard a couple times and then finally I was like, what am I waiting for? So I think the first time I heard about it was, it's actually in the earlier days, probably around 2019 and maybe it was 2018. And I was at one of the Insights Association's meetings, one of the CEO summits, and they're always kind of touting the MREF and the impact that they're having on the community. So I heard about it once or twice. And then finally, Steve Schlesinger called me out one of those years and was like, all right, Michaela, what are you joining this? And I was like, Steve, I have no reason to not be more active than I have been. So I appreciated kind of getting calls over the carpet a little bit and just rising to the occasion. So it's been a wonderful organization, honestly, to be part of. And again, it's so great to have this charity aspect, but also the community building. I think within the market research industry, I don't know if it's just that research persona, but so many people are in the industry to make connections and to build that bigger community. And I've definitely found that to be the case with the MREF as well.
Yeah, cool. So thinking about some of the various initiatives that you've involved in today, could you share some more about the MREF's annual fundraisers and community events?
Yeah, absolutely. There's actually a lot. So there's kind of two big showcase fundraisers every single year. One of them's coming up. It's the Race Around the World for Education. We do that every spring. And then the Backpack Challenge is actually in the summer. And there's other smaller fundraisers that go on throughout the year. Both of these campaigns, both the Race Around the World and the Backpack Challenge, include an activity. So sometimes it's a virtual walk or run or readathon to get people, actively involved from the market research community. And we also hosted our second second annual, I should say, month of service this past January, where we encourage MREF community members to organize service groups across multiple locations and really having a closer to home impact. So those are really fantastic. This year, I know that some groups went into schools and did a reading day. There was a food sorting project at a local bank. There was a visit to an orphanage. There were other school supply stuffing projects that happened in January. So there's a lot of different, kind of micro and macro events that MREF puts on every year.
Yeah, cool. So thinking about the Race Around the World for education, do you have any idea how many times or miles the world market researchers, have actually looped around the world across all of the years?
Yeah, they have clocked a number of miles. So we've actually done Race Around the World in the last 3 years. So we're just coming up, we're about to start our 4th year. And in those 3 years, we've actually gone around the globe 9.5 times. So wow. Just absolutely amazing the mileage that everyone has been running, biking, and walking for charity.
Yeah, very true. That's quite significant, isn't it?
Yeah, it's amazing.
And I guess that's more as testament to the actual impact that you've done, like how many people have got involved.
Yeah, it's great with all of the corporate sponsors and then the individual folks that go on and log their miles. I mean, really, it is an amazing, crescendo of an effect there with all of the miles that get logged.
Oh, cool. So if those in our audience wanted to take part, how can they get involved?
Oh, it's super easy. So again, the 4th annual Race Around the World is coming up. And again, this is a fundraiser to help educate children around the world. These funds are, really supporting 4 organizations focused on promoting education worldwide, providing, learning opportunities for marginalized children. So this race is done in the month of May. And everybody, again, you either walk, you run, or you bike to raise money for a good cause. The race is entirely virtual, and so everyone logs in online and you get to share your mileage updates. You get to kind of, promote your team. You get to share photos and track your progress on the leaderboard. So everything's done through the MREF Race Around the World website. And, you basically just get your friends, your family, your coworkers together. to get moving and support this important cause. There's no charge to participate, but if you want to, you can become a sponsor. And again, these sponsorships have varying levels. And when you sponsor, you gain a company team that your employees can really join to log their miles, share photos, and again, build some of that, team level camaraderie that can come with the race as well.
Yeah, cool. So just reflecting on some of the good news stories that you've thought of, are there any that really stand out from just from what you've been involved in?
Oh gosh, there's so many. I think some of the biggest ones that come to mind for me are really around the Joseph School. That's been a charity donation from MREF that's really been a pretty long-standing relationship. So this is a school in Cabaret, Haiti. And again, this is one of the ones where we do get to hear some of those success stories and what's going on with these children. Again, given the recent, turmoil in Haiti, the team has been checking in and making sure that everyone is okay or as okay as they can be. But we've definitely heard of some amazing success stories for the children and the positive impact that the MREF has been able to have in them. I think the other one that really comes top of mind for me is the Hogar Montiel School for at-risk girls. This is an community that we support in Costa Rica. And there was an on-site mission trip that went there in January as well, just to really, again, build community, help these girls, and to show that we're not just there with, the financial support, but also looking to give them the love and care and support that they need as well.
Yeah, I guess one of the things with market research, the work that we do often, it's not necessarily realized immediately, and we don't always sit back and reflect on the impact and the return on investment, etc., that our organizations are doing. So it's quite nice to actually see this in place as well. Do you have any situations where you've seen or heard about employees that have been really thankful for the work that they've been involved or that's led from this involvement here?
Yeah, I know I have personally here at KJT. And again, I think it's one of these things where, we're market researchers and, none of the decisions that we're making every day are kind of life or death, but it is really nice to know that the work that you're being part of has greater meaning. And what are the ways that we can build community and show, we are human at the core of what we're doing. So I can think of, two colleagues who I've had some pretty close conversations with that just love the sense of, we're not just doing this at a micro level here in Rochester, New York, but that KJT is part of the MREF, which truly does have a global impact. 30 different organizations is what MREF has contributed to over time. And some of it's domestic here in the US, but 2/3 of it is really these international programs that the MREF is able to give back to. So you really feel like you are part of something bigger.
Yeah, very cool. Yes, we have been involved in the past as well and helped to contribute. So a very worthy cause. Any final thoughts that you'd like to leave us with, Michaela?
No, I would just encourage everybody to go on and register for the race this year. We're really excited about it in 2024. And I think this one is truly going to be the best yet. So encourage everybody. Again, there's no fee to sign up and start logging your miles and maybe see if you can get a sponsor to come in and help on the fundraising side of things as well.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for joining us on the show today.
Absolutely. It was a pleasure, Michael. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. And for the listeners out there, if you have enjoyed today, please do feel free to sign up and take part in the race around the world, or check out how else you can get involved, as we've heard about today. Feel free to share this podcast with someone else as well who might also want to get involved. Leave a review, or feel free to subscribe as well. So until next time, thanks for listening to Now That's Significant.